is red or right. Keep it safe and make sure there's no fire. Open to YouTube and look for Kids Fire Protection Answers.
All right, so hi guys. Today we're going to tackle one that we see in Hollywood all the time, seeing as I did the video that said Hollywood lies. Yeah, well, they kind of do, but they're just kind of sort of misinformed. They don't understand what they're looking at or what they're talking about. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about deluge systems. Now, deluge systems have open sprinklers and the pipe is empty of air and water. All that's in there is just nothing. It's just the same air that's in the room. They're operated by a solenoid valve and heat and or smoke detectors, possibly a pilot line, which is a small set of sprinklers that have closed heads that are there to detect if there's flame that would set off a fire sprinkler. They then send a signal to a trip panel that basically says, okay, we've got a problem here. I need to get ready. And it starts preparing. At which point, if it senses either smoke or heat, whichever one it didn't sense first, or one of the pilot heads goes off, then it goes, yep, I'm opening. That's it. You're getting wet. And everything floods. So you might find these in libraries, places where it's going to be very difficult to contain a fast-moving fire, where things are very dry inside. There are some art galleries that have these. I don't like that idea. It scares the crap out of me. But yeah, usually they have a valve on top. When you shut that valve, now you can test the system without flooding the system. They have this, which we call the oh crap valve, and then the regular control valve, which allows you to test the system and drain it before you reinstate it as a normal operating system. Knowing that fire alarm panels can activate incorrectly, I don't suggest these to anybody. I suggest a regular wet system or a dry system that will activate the way it's supposed to. Because if, God forbid, something happened and the solenoid energized and the system flooded for no reason, now everything that was in that area is completely soaked and ruined. Yeah. Deluge systems, they scare most fire sprinkler guys for the express purpose that you mean that you want me to fully test this thing? And, you know, I think it's every 5 years, but I'll look that up and I'll get back to you. But I think every 5 years you're supposed to fully trip these things and hook up hoses and plug off the heads, and it's a whole thing. And yeah, no, I don't like them. But there are some places that have them. So what do you need to know if you have a deluge system in your property? You need to make sure that your panel is being properly tested, that the batteries don't go bad, that everything is functioning the way it's supposed to each and every time the inspectors come. They need to test that panel along with everything else. If they don't have it written into your quote to test your secondary or trip panel, they need to do that. It is imperative that they do that. And anyone testing your system should be removing the solenoid when they're testing, because you can test the magnetization of the solenoid valve with a little screwdriver. You just stick it in there, and if it's magnetized, it'll stick to the side. And when it's reset, your screwdriver just comes right out. No problem. Or will drop on the floor. Yeah, I've done that. But it's imperative that these things are tested to be properly operating each and every time they come to test your system. and they need to know what they're doing with them, otherwise they can cause big problems. So I hope this answered what a deluge system is and why Hollywood thinks that all sprinklers go off, because somebody somewhere showed them a deluge system. That is not how they work. For more on this, I'm going to do a video about Hollywood and some of the commercials and some of the movie scenes that you've seen that are just totally inaccurate, and we'll discuss them. But that'll be later on. Have a great rest of your day. Thanks again for tuning in. Send me an email at this address if you have questions, concerns, comments, or you just want to say hi. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Watch the videos in the next segment. And send this channel to those that you think would value the information I'm giving out for free.
When you find your alarm sounds off in the night, don't make mistakes, get answers that are right. Keep it safe and make sure there's no fire. Open the YouTube and look for kids fire protection answers. Kids fire protection answers. Got questions, he's got answers that make sense. Don't wait the channel to open his Kids Fire Protection Answers.